non-teaching for this event, teaching and non-teaching staffs for this event. I feel happy to welcome the one who was guiding us all through the event, our coordinator, Mrs. Manjula ma'am. Welcome you, ma'am. Not but not the least, I extend my cardinal welcome to all my dear friends who have joined this webinar to make it a successful one. Welcome you all. The right people will hear you differently, see you in good way, and guide you and advise you in optimistic way. Here we have one such good personality with us to make this event more vibrant. I request Dr. Chitra Aravind ma'am to over the session. Over to you, ma'am. Ma'am, you can continue.
ஹலோ இது ஆகுதா? நான் எல்லாம் பண்ணிட்டேன். நீங்கள் சொன்ன மாதிரி அந்த கோடை எடுத்து பேஸ்ட் பண்ணி ஸ்டார்ட் ஸ்ட்ரீமிங்கில் கொடுத்துட்டேன். இப்போ எதுவுமே ஆகலையா? அப்படியா? சரி, இப்போ எங்கள் வீட்டில் எதுவுமே நடக்க மாட்டேங்குது. மேம் ஏதாவது பேசுகிறாங்களா என்ன? ஓகே. சரி, ஓகே ஓகே. இல்லை, ஆனால் ஆயிடும்ல. நான் நீங்கள் சொன்ன மாதிரிலாம் பண்ணிட்டேன். எனக்கு பயமாக இருக்கு. நான் வேணா திரும்ப செக் பண்ணவா என்னாச்சுன்ட்டு? அதான் மாற்ற வேணான்ட்டா அப்படியே அமைதியாக உட்காந்துட்டு இருக்கேன் ஃபுல் ஸ்க்ரீன் கொடுத்துட்டு. ஆ கீழே லைவ் ரெட்டு கலரில் காமிக்குமா? லைவ்னு லைவ் காமிக்குது. 3 minutes 45 seconds காமிச்சிட்ருக்கு. யூடியூப் வந்துட்டு அதுலேயும் ஓடிட்டுருக்கு. சரி, நான் இப்போ போயிட்டு ஃபுல் ஸ்க்ரீன் வச்சிடுறேன். நீங்கள் எதுனா எனக்கு கால் பண்ணுங்கள். ஓகே. நான் வேறு வீடியோவே ஆன் பண்ணாமல் உட்காந்துட்ருக்கேன்.
Sorry, guys. Sorry for the inconvenience. Ma'am will be joining us soon. Again, due to some network issues, she was unable to hear us. She'll be joining us. Kindly stay over the meet.
Good evening, all of you. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, fine. I think I joined as a presenter earlier, so I could not hear you all. Fine. So I think the Hari Aditya will be making a presentation, so I can start with that. And it's a pleasant evening for me, and I missed the inaugural address. Anyway, nice to see all of you here. So meeting all the youths in the evening, that was a very important day. And I'm very happy to be here, and thanks for the invitation to make a presentation on suicide awareness, which is very important and much needed topic among the youths. So I'll just try to make presentation from here, if not. And at the end of it, I don't know how you planned. If you have any queries, we can do. I'll go with my presentation for nearly 30 to 40 minutes. Yeah, I can make a presentation, so I'll proceed with this.
Okay.
But I don't know both the links will it be working. So please check that one in the technical aspect.
Okay.
So other screen probably you can manage to present. Fine, shall I start then? Proceed with that. Okay.
But we are unable to view the second video.
Yeah, so I think I should make it. But the transition will not be possible. Only one I can control. I told you you should present there.
Okay, ma'am. I shall do the presentation.
I won't be able to present simultaneously both the links. One link I'll be presenting and other link you manage.
Okay, ma'am.
I'll wait for you to start for other participants to see the link. Because we need to go with the same flow.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll just go slow with our learning objectives. Until then, the participants won't be able to see the slide. After that, we can catch up. Okay, until then, you please make it ready. Okay, so again, a good evening to all of you, and I'm very happy to be part of this youth group today. So we'll start with the learning objective, what we are going to see for the next 30 to 40 minutes. We need to understand about suicide and to identify someone who's suicidal, because peer support is very important, and to help people from committing suicide, and how to prevent suicide and become resilient. So these are the very important topics which we are going to see today. And so before that, I want to talk to you about mental health, because when I talk about suicide, very important thing is we need to address the mental health issues, because behind this suicide as a major enemy to our society lies mental health issues. All right. So mental health issues in terms of how this mental health issues is highly related to suicidal behavior. I hope all of you might have heard about this term depression. And most of us would be using this word depression in our everyday life, stress, depression, even anxiety we started to use as a part of our everyday jargon. But then clinical depression is something which is different. We'll try to understand that also today, and how it can be it can also lead to suicide, or how suicide is a major symptom of clinical depression. And you don't know anybody who is contemplating suicide, or someone can be already a mental health, facing a mental health challenge, that is depression also. Okay, are we fine now, Mr. Hari? Shall I proceed?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah.
So positive mental health. Why this one I have agreed is because.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Sorry for the interruption, but we are view only one link, ma'am. The other link we are unable to view the presentation. So shall I proceed with the second meet, ma'am? Shall I present in the second meet?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. One link only
Okay.
I am presenting. I can only present.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Let me present in the second one.
Oh, which the ROG link I'm going to present. You can present in the STV link. Okay.
Okay.
ROG link and present.
Okay.
So are you able to see my slide in the link, ROG link? I think that's the first.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So, so Hari will be starting in the other link, right? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So let them also see the same slide. I'll just wait for a second. Until then, I don't know. I don't think the interaction will be possible at this front, but later we'll definitely have some time for interaction. And positive mental health. When I talk about this, mental health issue is something which is always shrugged away, and we are not talking about it much compared to the physical health issues. Like we say, even now we are talking about COVID, we're talking about malaria, we're talking about other things like BP or diabetes. But then the mental health is something which is always ignored. And but then the truth is, 1 in 4 people are actually suffering from mental health issues, and something which need to be addressed very soon. And even in the absence of mental health issues, also we need to enjoy the positive mental health. That is way more important. So we'll see why this mental health is so important. Why I'm saying that, okay, it's very easy to tell even without explanation that physical health is very important. I hope all of you would agree. Health is wealth. So mental health and physical health are nothing but the same umbrella term for under the umbrella term health, right? So according to WHO, the very definition of health is that it's not just the mere absence of symptoms, it's presence of various other well-being. That is our mental well-being, emotional well-being, social well-being, etc. So here, let's say the students enjoy the positive mental health. See the utmost benefit you are going to enjoy by seeing this slide. You'll be able to realize your full potential. How many of you attending this program would say that, ma'am, I've realized my full potential. I'm functioning to the fully functional person I am. Let's say the 40 watts bulb is only capable of giving 40 watts light. Okay, so that's the maximum capacity you know. But human capacity is like, the real potential is never harnessed properly. And you don't know your real potential. May be undermined because of mental health issues or other issues which you're facing in the society. So when I say that you're enjoying the positive mental health, you'll be realizing your full potential, and you can have a healthy relationship and less strain on family. You can make utmost good life choices. So choices is what decides our life later. Let's say whether you're going to go for smoking or say no to drugs. What are the choices you're making today is going to decide your health tomorrow. So mentally healthy people can definitely make right choices about their anything in life, anything and everything, and cope with stresses of life. They can very well cope with the stressors in their life. They can work productively and enjoy financial stability, and they can obviously manage the natural ups and downs, because even now 2 years back we were hit with COVID-19, and those who are mentally not very stable would have definitely had a blow in their life, because they cannot handle the ups and downs of life. I'm not saying that life is going to be again bed of roses post-COVID. Still, we are going to face more challenges in life. And as students, you will be saying, oh, my life is so challenging. Wait more for it. Like, you have utmost more responsibilities once you go down in your life, go up in your life, you could say. So you're going to face, obviously, lots of ups and downs in life. So definitely you will be having to face all that, but are you going to be resilient, or are you going to be blown by the cyclone is the thing which you need to ask yourself. So you can maintain physical health and well-being also, and also avoidance of crime and victimization. And I don't know how many of you are aware of the fact that people who are having mental health issues also end up in crime activities, and they can be victimized also. So this is also somewhere associated with our mental health, and make meaningful contributions to societies. And I think as a Youth Council of India you belong to, obviously you will be doing a lot of contributions, meaningful contributions, and even today's program, I would say, is a great initiative by you people for making contributions to your community. And obviously I believe that you're having enjoying positive mental health and for a longer and happier life. Has anyone thought about the purpose of life? Like, why are we even living? Why are we even, just, I would always say life is the greatest gift you are gifted with, actually, you're given. Are you really enjoying, or are you suffering? When I say the life, think for a moment, what comes to your mind? Because more than 100 students are here. When I say the term life, what comes to your mind immediately? That tells you right now what you're going through in your life. Some student may think like, oh, life is something enjoyable. Some people may say, oh, it's really very bad. And some people
இல்ல
can think
ஏதோ
it's a roller
புரியல
coaster
மாதிரி
ride and it's
இருக்கு.
say full of stress. I don't know why am I
ஆ
even living. So the
ஓகே மேம்.
utmost meaning you attach to life decides your current status of mind. So all the time you ask this question to yourself, what life means to you, and what is that we are at most going to enjoy out of life? It's nothing but happiness and peace of mind. And only for these two reasons we are even living this life, for being happy, and also obviously being healthy is going to make us more happy, right?
மேம்
And being productive.
அட பண்ணிட்டாங்க.
Someone mute your
நைட்டுக்கா பண்றீங்களா?
one second, I'm getting some disturbances from my end. I'll just can anyone mute the participants? I'm not having the control, so yeah, muted. Okay. Okay, I'll continue. So the utmost importance of our life is to just live. Okay, so live in the sense the pursuit of
Excuse me.
happiness. Yeah,
Ma'am, can you just share the full screen view, ma'am?
yeah, it's in full screen only currently.
Okay, ma'am. Fine.
Now is it okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah,
Thank you.
fine. So yeah, whenever there is some problem, because I'm having a one-way communication which is very poor now, so I'm having my WhatsApp open. Anything, any issue, or I'm not audible or something, please do inform me quickly. Otherwise, I may go on in my own mode. It's just a one-way communication. Like this, you can unmute and let me know if there is an issue. Thank you. Yeah. So our utmost outcome of our life is what? Happiness. Everybody is striving to reach that smiley, right? But ask yourself, obviously happiness cannot be only thing in our life from morning to night, 24 hours per day. If you ask yourself how many minutes or how many seconds or how many hours I was happy or I was like smiling, the time would be very less. But I'm not saying like 24/7 you should be smiling and laughing, otherwise you would be ending up in mental health asylum. So that's a joke. So obviously it's not possible, but then most of the times you need to be happy. That is a point of life. But then when we are suffering and when we are, saying this life is so difficult to live and I even want to end my life, then what is the life you are living? It's something which you need to ask yourself and retrospect and introspect. So that is where the question about, yeah. So whether the suicidal thoughts or suicidal ideation is there in anybody's heart, whoever is listening, and somebody who is listening to this presentation can definitely even save a life. It can be a relative, it can be a friend, it can be a parents, it can be siblings, anyone. Because we are going to see a lot of important things about figuring out the signs of suicide, so that when you pick up those signs, obviously you can even save a life of a person, or a person who's even having such suicidal thought can understand and get a lot of insight about suicide and definitely try to come out of it with your positive mental health. Okay, first we need to understand the term suicide and what a suicide attempt called as. Suicide is a death caused by self-directed injurious behavior with any intent to die as a result of behavior. So this is very simple and obviously all of you know. And what does a suicide attempt mean? It's defined as a non-fatal, self-directed and potentially injurious behavior with an intent to die, but then it may or may not result in injury. So that's a very important point to understand here, because suicide, if it ends in death, to some extent at least you don't know what's going to happen to you. But let's say by any chance you're going to survive after an attempt, you don't know how much injury you need to sustain for your entire life. Because I've just seen a lot of people who have survived their suicide attempt and living their life in hell, I should say, a living hell. Because I've seen people who have been this, I don't know, some tube has been, is been there in their throat, and they have to live with that kind of pain all over their life. And also, let's say if they have jumped from some high places, and they have also sustained some fractures and also some major injuries. And also I've seen people who have been like survived from burns. They've tried to burn themselves, and after that they have just survived it. And again, there's going to be a lot of pain, psychological as well as physical pain. And also they would have had their deformed face, deformed hand. With that, they're living. So we can't always say that suicide attempt can result in success. Hardly success if you attempt in suicide attempt, we should pray. Otherwise, if you're going to live a life after that, it's going to be hell. The facts about suicide, there are a lot of myths of suicide which we are going to bust today. And let me talk about some facts. Close to 8 lakhs people die due to suicide every year, which is one person every 40 seconds, according to World Health Organization 2016. And 17 percentage, that's huge percentage, are Indians. And suicide is the second leading cause of death among, see the age group, 15 to 29. It's a major youth group, we call them as, but then that is very common among youth group, which is very, very unfortunate to hear. And suicide accounted for 1.4% of all deaths worldwide. So that's the 18th leading cause of death. And failure in examination lead to 2413 suicide by students, or every 7 every day, accounting for 25% of student suicide. So generally, failing in examination is a major leading cause of suicide as well. So you would have already heard about a lot of instances of suicide because they couldn't clear the NEET exam, or in IIT it's happening, in various other colleges it's happening. And National Crime Records Bureau, that's NCRB, they've given a data, shocking revelation is one student commits suicide every hour. So all these are shocking facts to see. And in 2012, 80% of suicide victims were literate. And please don't ever think that people who are uneducated only contemplate suicide. Most of them were literate, higher than the national average literacy rate. So in the year 2012, Chennai reported the highest total number of suicide, followed by Bangalore, Delhi, Mumbai. So Tamil Nadu and also especially Chennai is having high suicidal rates. Men are more likely to commit suicide due to social or economic reasons, while women also commit suicide, but the reasons are different. That is emotional and personal causes. Because of the very gender they belong to, these are different causes. So people who die by suicide don't want to end their lives. They want to end their pain. So whoever who tried suicide, if you ask them, they would say this only. It's not that I'm ending my life. I'm not even living a life here. So I'm just ending the pain. I can't bear this pain anymore. It's not physical pain all the time. It's mostly emotional and psychological pain they're talking about. Myths and facts. We need to break the myths now. Young people who talk about suicide never attempt to take or actually take their own lives. They're just seeking attention. Because this talk, when we say, oh, barking dogs don't even, bite. But that's not the fact. Actually, people who talk about suicide definitely can possibly try suicide also. So we cannot always think that, okay, people who talk, they don't do. It's just that attention seeking. Even there is one personality disorder called borderline personality disorder, where they do a lot of manipulation and give suicidal scares, death scare to close relations. Even when they're having boyfriends or girlfriends, they would even self-harm themselves and say, I'm going to die. And they would think, okay, it's just the threat he's giving. But we don't know. They may even, their manipulation or that game would even end in actually killing themselves. Okay, so we can't always tell that it is just a myth. Anyone talking about suicide should always be taken seriously. Once a person is intent on suicide, there is no way to stop them. They will be suicidal forever. So that's not the truth as well. It can be prevented if they receive the help they seek at the right time. They are less likely to attempt suicide. So that's a good news. Suicidal thoughts and behaviors are hereditary, and this is again not true. And while suicidal thoughts tend to run in family, we would say that risk factor, people who had suicidal, parent or aunt or uncle who committed suicide, maybe there is chances, quite a many chances, the person in the family might try suicide, but then it's not always completely hereditary. It's important for people experiencing suicidal thoughts to know that there are other options rather than only ending their life. But for them, that's the only perfect solution. You can never convince them. All suicidal young people are depressed, and that is again a myth. While depressed mood is common, this is not true for everyone who suicide. As I told you, depression is one of the causes for suicide, not the only cause. A marked and sudden improvement in mental state following a crisis indicates the suicide risk is over. Some people mistake that if the suicide victim is not talking fine and moving well, then he's not he's out of danger. It's not always. You should really take care. And there have been signs of a possible suicide attempt. A sudden improvement in mood may in fact indicate actually these people will behave very nicely. They'll be showing happiness because they've decided actually to take their life. That's why they're like that. You should never think that they've just come out of that idea. That's why they're positive. When they are more positive, this is again a negative sign. You need to watch out for. Factors affecting suicide. So first thing is personal, interpersonal, and if I could have an interaction, we would know like why people even think about something, because all the time we are scared about life and we want to really live our life and want to enjoy our life, embrace the life, and I want to eat good food, I want good clothes, I want good friends, I want to party. Life is to enjoy. But then why the hell you want to even end it? So there are various reasons why people think about it. So first we'll look into the personal, interpersonal reasons why people contemplate suicide. Childhood trauma. Lot of child abuse victims, not necessarily sexual abuse, it can be mental, physical, emotional, any kind of abuse, trauma can also end up in suicide. Lack of resilience. Resilience is what? Resilience is an ability to bounce back from adversity. Some people may have less resilience by their birth also. No? They are very less resilient, low stress tolerance level, even because of that. Sense of isolation. People who say I'm very lonely, that they isolate themselves, that is also one of the factors. Poor lifestyle. Here I'm talking about choosing to drink, choosing drugs, sleeping late, sleeping, around like 1 o'clock, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. in the night, and not exercising. All this can also result in, this can be a contributing factor. Social media usage, connected but still we are disconnected. So I hope whoever is listening to me here, a lot of youths, you may be in Instagram and Snapchat and whatnot, Concord and many other, by a lot of social media, even which I may not know. But then you may have 1K or 2K or 3K, even 16K, 25K followers. But how many true friends do you have to whom you can open your heart and just talk, take the phone and just talk your heart out? Really, we need to ask ourselves, are we living a fake life? Are we really connected emotionally to people? People who are disconnected also think about suicide. High conflicts in relationship, because at this age, whoever is listening to me probably may be in age bracket of 18 to 25 max. So you may be definitely into some relationship issues, girlfriend issue, boyfriend issue, and conflict with your parents. All these relationship setbacks and high conflict, emotional conflict, because at this in this age, your sense of belongingness, the need for belongingness is very high. And when you feel like I don't belong to someone, that no one loves me, and that gives you inferiority complex and low self-esteem, that can also slowly result in this kind of feelings. High expectation on oneself. And personality characters like anger, anxious, some people who are very impulsive, quick, I want immediate, the gratification, the need to gratify is very, very less, and your response time is very less. You are very impulsive. These impulsive people are very dangerous to themselves, because they can easily think about suicide in just a fraction of a second. They can even make a wrong decision, wrong choice, which they can regret for their entire life. And introverted, very lonely people, confusion in sexual orientation, people who are confused about what gender they belong to, and who they are attracted to, like gays, lesbians, all these people. Okay. So other reasons. So I talked about the reasons like personal and interpersonal. So in interpersonal, we talk about.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Sorry for this. The slides were not changing.
What, ma'am?
The slides, ma'am.
It's not.
No, ma'am, it's visible, but you're not changing the slides, ma'am.
Oh, which slide am I stuck with now?
Second, probably second or third.
Oh, okay. Thank you but that's. I've run through quite a lot of slides now. Okay, let me stop the presentation and present them. Okay, now tell me which slide you can see just while it will show. Are you able to see a slide called disintegration of family system?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, this Google Meet has some problems generally. Okay, now is it fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Whenever you're not in line with what I'm talking, please stop me. Okay.
Okay.
So, the earlier slide, what we saw was on personal and interpersonal factors affecting suicide. Just take a quick look at that. I finished the slide only. I was talking about each and every factor. And now I'm into the disintegration of family system. That's the family factors here. Poor parenting style. People who had neglectful parenting, like, both the parents are busy, they don't care. Generally, parents do care for their children, but I'm talking about like low socioeconomic status or single parent where they don't have time, or parents who are mentally ill, or there are some problems because of that poor parenting style, neglectful, especially the neglectful parenting style. Children can also usually feel very lonely and neglected because of the lack of love and sense of belongingness. Generally people get into this suicide. Unrealistic expectation by parents, too much of pressure from the parents, that too unrealistic. Lack of emotional support from the family, family discord. These factors I explained already. And if you're witnessing all the time conflicts between your parents, and are they going to live together, or are they going to divorce, or extramarital affairs, all these are the problem. Okay, then extramarital affairs, I told you, alcoholic parents. Okay, so all this also can be a factor. So yeah, so I hope my participants are bilingual. I don't know, so I might little bit slip into Tamil also, if it's okay. And I asked the coordinator, it's fine, he said. Okay, so social reasons என்னன்னு பார்க்கலாம். So social flux, so definitely socially lot of things are going on now. Globalization has come and people are talking about Western values. People on the pub culture, all this are there. And I'm sure as a engineering college student, obviously you would have been exposed to all the things. And peer pressure, I'm sure you would have heard about the term peer pressure. So peer, you feel like I should hang out with someone, I should have a girlfriend, or I should have a boyfriend. Okay, so otherwise I feel like I'm like outfit in the Mario reasons. So rapidly changing moral values. Now everything is fine. So there is a breach in your value system, and that is becoming very shaky nowadays. And values are changing, and changing laws and policies. Social media, mass media, because we, like 2K kids I think I'm talking to, right? So 2K kids, obviously you're all I would say born with gadgets only. பிறக்கும்போதே கையில் ஒரு ஃபோன் இருக்கும், இல்லை ட்ரைபேட் இருந்திருக்கும். ஸோ you're all into this generation wherein you're stuck with these gadgets, and immediately every 2 minutes you want to look into your gadgets. Social media, that's in a good way, good in one way, and also bad in another way. It's like a double-sworded weapon. Mass media problem எப்பவுமே இருக்கு. Politics idealization, movie idealization, fan following, academic pressure. So those days and all, like 20-30 years back, like my generation did not face this kind of factors, other factors like social media, and everybody can become heroes now. Everybody can make one or camera irundha podo or idu irundha podo, everybody becomes a social influencers now. And YouTube channel own pannalam. So all these are giving a chance for a person to distract from their studies also. So possibly you can win, but you can also fail. So that can have a major impact. Bullying, discrimination, prejudice. So all these are social factors. Economic factors irukave irukku. So low social economic stat factors. And what are the psychological factors? In what way can we prevent it? Physical illness irukkalam, that is not always in youngsters, but can be in older people. Mental illness paakalam. Many of you don't know. I need to sensitize you much also about mental health awareness. Have you heard of these terms? Only in movies, I believe. Depression, I'm sure all of you might have, most of you might have heard of. Bipolar disorder 3 படம் பார்த்தவங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருக்கும். Okay, so bipolar disorder வந்து அவங்க கரெக்டா ஃபோக்கஸ் பண்ணல. Bipolar disorder is not what they actually depict in the movie. So it is like ஒரு சைடு டிப்ரெஷன், ஒரு சைடு மேனியா. ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு 2-3 சிம்டம்ஸ் வச்சுட்டு ப்ளீஸ் டோன்ட் செல்ஃப் டயக்னோஸ் யுவர் செல்ஃப். நவடேஸ் கூகுள் டாக்டர்ஸ் தேர். Please don't get into psychology of it. If you have any problem, go meet someone like me or a psychiatrist for diagnosis. Don't ever go into Google and just see the symptom and see, okay, I've got this disorder. And the tappu mattum pannadinga. And schizophrenia means you will hear things which is not there. Okay, like delusions, in the nambikku adhigama irukum, which has no real reasons behind it, and you can hear things, you can see things. Idella da schizophrenia, paranoid schizophrenia irukavங்களோ. Oh, the slide is not moving, is it? Again, once again I'll just play the slide again. Can you see the slide now? Genes, mental illness. Yeah? Okay, good. So here depression, bipolar disorder பத்தி சொல்லிட்டு இருந்தேன். Then schizophrenia is a very major psychotic disorder where you break from the reality. And paranoid schizophrenia, அதெல்லாம் இருக்கவங்க suicide பண்ணுவாங்க. So borderline personality disorder இருக்கவங்க, one of the symptoms, if I say, then don't label yourself லைக் செல்ஃப் ஹார்ம் பண்ணுவாங்க, பிரிஸ்ட்ல கட் பண்ணுவாங்க மோஸ்டா. ஸோ நிறைய பார்த்துருக்கேன் நான் கவுன்சிலிங்ல, லைனா இருக்கும். அண்ட் எனி பார்ட் ஆஃப் த பாடி பேரண்ட்ஸ்க்கு தெரியக்கூடாதுன்னு செல்ஃப் ஹார்ம் பண்ணுவாங்க. தெரிஞ்சு வேணும்னு பண்றவங்களும் இருக்காங்க, மேனிபுலேட் பண்றவங்களும் இருக்காங்க. ஸோ பிபிடி இந்த பர்சனாலிட்டி டிசார்டர் இருக்கவங்களும் நிறைய சூசைட் ட்ரை பண்ணி சம்டைம்ஸ் தே சக்சீட் இன் தட் ஆல்சோ. ஸ்ட்ரெஸ் டிசார்டர், ஆன்சைட்டி டிசார்டர், மோஸ்ட்லி சப்ஸ்டன்ஸ் அபியூஸ் டிசார்டர் அண்ட் ஆல்கஹாலிசம் இஸ் அ டிசீஸ். ப்ளீஸ் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட். நான் வந்து சோஷியல் ட்ரிங்கர்னு சொல்றீங்க, என்னைக்கு அந்த சோஷியல் ட்ரிங்கிங் லைன் பிரீச் ஆகி இட் பிகம்ஸ் அ டிசார்டர் அப்படிங்கிறது தெரியாது. The moment it starts to influence you or you start to depend on it, இது வரைக்கும் நீங்க கண்ட்ரோல்ல இருக்கீங்க, அது என்னைக்கு உங்களை கண்ட்ரோல் பண்ண ஆரம்பிக்குதோ that moment you become it becomes a disorder actually, substance abuse disorder. Substance means I'm talking about psychoactive substances like drugs and alcohol. And also இதுல வந்து we are not talking about smoking explicitly, but smoking weed and all that is also part of it. Okay, so the summary பார்த்தோம்னா whatever is a major reasons, please look into it. If you or your friend has this kind of life events happening to you, be careful. Anytime we may become suicidal, like loss of an important person. இப்போ வந்து கோவிட் வந்தது, இதுல we lost a lot of people and we don't know when anybody would become suicidal because of the death of some important persons in the family. Incest in the family or child abuse in the family, bullying in the college or in the workplace, a sense of failure, a relationship breakup. Here what I mean by school is college also. And in the slide therida, can you see me? See the slide? You're not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah?
Yes,
Oh, yeah. Experience of discrimination and other isolation, relationship conflicts, and also as I told you, sexual orientation la problem irukku. I don't know whether I'm a gay or I don't know whether I'm a lesbian, I don't know whether I'm a male, female, in the confusion. The reason suicide of a friend or relative, and somebody commits suicide, then you also tend to become suicidal. Or when you keep watching information about suicide, அதிகமா சூசைட் வீடியோ தயவு செஞ்சு பார்க்காதீங்க. டோன்ட் see awareness பண்ண போறன்ற பேர்ல don't keep on watching some suicidal news or anything. You don't know when your mind gets corrupted and you also tend to become slowly suicidal. Okay, so thanatosis சொல்லுவோம், the death energy should not be there. Libido should be a life energy. You all as a youth should be full of life, not full of negative energy. So just note these are the important causal factors. Can you see this slide? This is very important. Warning signs. Can anyone affirm?
Yes,
Yeah, thank you. So you feel hopeless. At the end of the tunnel, you see nothing, no light at the end of the tunnel. அப்படிதான் இருக்கும். ஒரு சூசைட் பண்ணிக்கக்கூடிய மாதிரி ஒரு பர்சனை கேட்டா இந்த வார்னிங் சைன்ஸ் எல்லாம், மோஸ்ட் ஆஃப் த வார்னிங் சைன்ஸ் இருக்கும். They withdraw from family, friends, community. திடீர்னு ஒருத்தங்க உங்க ஃப்ரெண்ட் யாருமே ரொம்ப நேரம் ஃபோன் எடுக்க மாட்டேங்கிறாங்க. They're not talking to you for a past 1 or 2 weeks. They're withdrawing. This is a major sign you need to look for. And dramatic change in personality or appearance. திடீர்னு வந்து அவங்க வந்து வெல் ட்ரெஸ்டா இருக்க மாட்டாங்க, ஹைஜீன் பார்க்க மாட்டாங்க, பாத் பண்ண மாட்டாங்க டைம்க்கு. ஓகே, they have some irrational behavior follow பண்ணுவாங்க, talking or writing about death, and they often would say like I'm a burden to other people, உங்களுக்குலாம் நான் பாரமா இருக்கேன், feeling trapped. Changes in sleeping and eating, this is a very classic symptom of depression also. தூங்குறதுல வந்து தூங்கவே மாட்டாங்க, ரொம்ப கஷ்டமா இருக்கும், or they sleep a lot. Eating also, they binge eat or they don't eat. Any two extremes. Increasing their drug and alcohol use. Already drug alcohol எடுக்கிறவங்களா இருந்தா increase ஆயிடும் அந்த behavior. Recent trauma or life crisis. Severe drop in college or work performance. And if you say that, oh, I'm a very good student or I'm at least an average student, but my grades are declining of late, அப்படின்னாலும் that is again a sign. Giving away the person. எனக்கு ரொம்ப பிடிச்ச விஷயத்தெல்லாம் யாருக்காவது கொடுக்குறது. Okay, I love this, but I want to give away all this because I'm like, I'm not liking anything what I used to like a lot before. That is again one of the important symptoms. Doing dangerous, life threatening, fast bike ஓட்டுறது, I don't care now, உயிரோட இருந்தா பார்க்கலாம், this kind of talks, life threatening things பண்றது, கையில வந்து நைஃப் வச்சுட்டு ஷார்ப்பா இருக்கான்னு பாக்குறது. Having delusion or hallucination. Delusion is unshakable false belief which has no evidence behind it. Hallucination na yaro kaadala pesana mari irukum, edho illada oru vishayatha paakra madiri irukku. All 5 senses will become corrupted in hallucination. And adu vandu it's also a symptom of schizophrenia, as I told earlier. Regularly self-harming oneself, it's also a classic sign. Significant change in mood. அதிகமா சேடா இருக்கிறது, அதிகமா ரேஜ் ஆகுறது, ரொம்ப கோவப்படுறது, இல்லைன்னா ஓவர் மூடியா ஓரமா போய் உட்கார்ந்துக்கிறது. So all these are warning signs of suicide. You don't have to be a doctor to save your life, save a life. Okay. இப்போ நீங்க யாராவது ஹெல்ப் பண்ணணும்னு நினைச்சீங்கன்னா வாட் யூ ஷுட் டூ as a student, if you come across these warning signs of from a student, okay, what you should do, just watch this. Are you with me in the slide? Interrupting with stories, Kikda?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So please, yeah, when you're going to say that I'm going to counsel my friend talk him out of suicide, நீங்க செய்யக்கூடாத விஷயம். Interrupting with stories of your own. ஏய் எனக்கு கூட 10 வயசுல இப்படிலாம் இருந்துச்சு, அப்படி இருந்துச்சு, இல்ல அப்படி இப்படி. Don't talk about your stories now. Okay? Panicking or becoming angry, கோவப்படுறதோ இல்ல யூ ஏன் இப்படிலாம் சொல்ற அப்படின்னு பேனிக் ஆகிறது, it's not going to help. And being judgmental. See, உனக்கு எல்லாம் இருக்கு லைஃப்ல, அழகா இருக்க, படிக்கிற, why you want to do this? And being இதெல்லாம் ஒரு சின்ன விஷயம், இதுக்கெல்லாம் போய் இப்படி பண்ணுவாங்களா? Okay, don't judge them. And telling them all the things they have to live for. Like as I told you, இதுக்கெல்லாம் நீ வாழணும், இதெல்லாம் நீ கொடுத்து வச்சிருக்கணும், be grateful, just come out, come with me to mall, beach, இதெல்லாம் help பண்ணாது. Too much advice cannot help. Okay, இப்போ என்ன பண்ணணும்னு சொல்றேன். These are the things you should not do. And suicide is 100% preventable. Speak up. Reach out is the only way. And எப்படி இதை நம்ம ஒரு ஃப்ரெண்ட் அந்த மாதிரி இருந்தா என்ன பண்ணணும்னா, I would rather give you some tips, which is not in the slide actually. என்ன பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்னா, you need to just listen. They will not talk. Actually ஒருத்தன் சூசைட் பண்ணணும்னு முடிவு பண்ணிட்டானா, they will shut their mouth. They don't want to talk only. ஸோ அவங்கள பேச வைக்கிறதே பெரிய சேலஞ்ச். அதுக்கு அவங்க ஏதாவது 1-2 வார்த்தை பேசினாலும் காதை கொடுத்து கேளுங்க. டோன்ட் ஓப்பன் யுவர் மவுத், ஜஸ்ட் ஓப்பன் யுவர் இயர்ஸ் அண்ட் லிசன் டு தெம். ஜஸ்ட் reassure, just validate their feelings, validate their thoughts, just go with the flow. கொஞ்சம் கேட்க கேட்க இன்னும் நிறைய பேசுவாங்க. பேச 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 they might come out with their real problems. The moment they start talking about the problems, they may start feeling lighter, but that's not going to happen very soon. If you really cannot handle the situation, you need to take them to a counselor or suicidal hotlines that I will share with you soon. So prevention of suicide, becoming resilient. What do we need to do? Early detection of mental illness, treatment and prevention. As I told you, depression is a major leading factor for suicide. It's one of the symptoms. Suicide is one of the major symptoms in depression. டிப்ரெஷனோட சிம்டம் என்னங்கறத ஃபர்ஸ்ட் புரிஞ்சுக்கணும். இட் இஸ் ஆல்மோஸ்ட் லைக் சூசைடோடைய சிம்டம்ஸ் மாதிரி தான். தே வித்ட்ரா, இதுக்கு முன்னாடி பிடிச்ச விஷயம் பிடிக்காம இருக்கும். தே ஃபீல் ஹோப்லெஸ், தே ஃபீல் வெரி லோ அபவுட் தெம்செல்ஸ், தே ஃபீல் லைக் ஹெல்ப்லெஸ், நோபடி கேன் ஹெல்ப் மீ டு கம் அவுட் ஆஃப் திஸ். ஸ்லீப் ப்ராப்ளம்ஸ் இருக்கும், ஈட்டிங் இஷ்யூஸ் இருக்கும். இதெல்லாமே ஹால்மார்க் சைன்ஸ் ஆஃப் மென்டல் இல்னஸ். இப்படி யாராவது இருந்துச்சுன்னா, more than 2 weeks இருந்துச்சு, if it's affecting your studies, if it's affecting your relationship, that means you're having some mental health issue. Reach out for help. And you need to be aware of yourself and accept it. If you could see from the slide the picture, are you able to see the slide in the picture? The slide? இங்க ஒரு ஸ்லைட்ல ஒரு பிக்சர் கொடுத்திருக்கேன். That is ஒரு 4 or 5 leaves ஓட ஒரு plant is coming out of a rock. What does it mean? Are you able to hear me? Yeah. Are you able to see the slide also? Yeah. So this shows the resilience actually. Resilience na சும்மா நல்லா இருக்கும் போது ஜாலியா இருக்கிறது இல்ல. Hard situationல, challenging scenarioல, how are you able to get up and keep functioning? That's how this picture depicts. That's called resilience. You need to become more resilient. அது எப்படி நடக்கும்னா, by doing all this as a preventative measures, taking on your alcohol and drug consumption. Am I drinking more nowadays? Be aware of yourself. What am I doing now? Slowa தெரிய ஆரம்பிக்கும் symptoms. முதல்ல புடிச்சிட்டீங்கன்னா easy to come out. Before, by the time you realize you're having mental health issues, it would be really tough time. So startingly இந்த symptoms aware ஆயிருங்க. Good social network, good friends, family, proper lifestyle, eat, sleep, exercise. இந்த 3 மந்த்ரா மட்டும் இந்த presentation பார்த்துட்டு இருக்க எல்லா ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் ஃபாலோ பண்ணிட்டாலே, you all can be safe, and I can tell you, assure that you all can be healthy. But are we doing it is a big question. Very simple. Eat, sleep, exercise. Eating nutritious food, exercising at least 3 to 4 days per week, and sleeping soundly on time. Not like night 2 o'clock படுத்துட்டு 9 மணிக்கு எழும்புற sleep. Night maximum 10 o'clock 10:30 படுத்துட்டு காலையில 6:30 7க்கு எழுந்தது தான். I'm talking about that 6 to 8 hours of sleep. Okay, so I can only advise, because students, because of various reasons, I know that I've been addressing a lot of students that we don't go to sleep on time. Please follow proper sleep routine. இப்ப நல்லா இருக்கும், இன்னும் 10-20 yearsல it will lead to lot of mental and physical health issues. Check your stress. Are you doing yoga, meditation, proper coping? Are you coping in the right way? Are you coping by using like listening to music or taking a break? அதெல்லாம் பண்றீங்களான்னு செக் பண்ணுங்க. Very importantly, are you all having goals in life? So those who are listening to me, ask yourself, யாருக்கு தெரியுமா டிப்ரெஷன் அண்ட் இந்த மாதிரி இஷ்யூஸ்லாம் வந்து இருந்தாலும் they can come out of it. Very importantly, who has this purpose and goal. Purpose of life அப்படின்னு ஒருத்தனுக்கு இருந்துச்சுன்னா, even though they are depressed for whatever reasons, it can be a major resilient factors which helps them to come out of it. So have some goals and know why your life is given to you. The day you are born until now, நம்ம ஏன் பிறந்தோம், நம்ம என்னத்துக்கு இங்க உயிர் வாழ்ந்துட்டு இருக்கோம், what is my purpose, what will happen if I die? Ask these questions at least once every day, then you will know your real purpose. And this is very important. I don't have time to talk about it. I can only tell you that self-confidence can be a major like a suit of armor for you to save yourself from a lot of mental health issues. Soft skills. I'll just display some soft skills after the slide and then I explain. And I think about gratitude. Save our life. Life is great, guys. So whenever you go out in a bike, car, enga poringa nadandhu poringanalo ore or tips taren. You will be always lost in your own thoughts, right? இன்னைக்கு என்ன அசைன்மெண்ட், அவ என்ன சொன்னா, டீச்சர் என்ன சொன்னாங்க, ஏன் எங்க அம்மா இப்படி சொன்னாங்க, why am I not doing anything in life? இந்த தாட்டை கட் பண்ணிட்டு இன்டர்னல் வேர்ல்ட்ல இருந்து ஸ்விட்ச் ஆஃப் பண்ணிட்டு just connect with the external world. You will see a lot of beautiful things around you. உங்களை சுத்தி பாருங்க. You will see a smiling child around you. You will see a beautiful flower. You will see a nice tree. இதெல்லாம் என்ஜாய் பண்ணுங்க. Connect with it. Savor every moment life has to offer. Then you will be not thinking about how do I end my life. And gratitude சொல்லவே வேண்டாம். I hope lot of WhatsApp messages you will be knowing. Gratitudeங்கிறது வந்து எனக்கு கிடைச்சதுக்கெல்லாம் தேங்க்ஸ் சொல்றது கிடையாது. If you are mistaken that way, I'm sorry. You need to be even happy about the very thing that you're alive now and listening to this program. நான் உயிரோட இருக்கிறேன், physically and mentally healthy-ஆ இருக்கிறேன்றதே பெரிய தேங்க்ஸ். எத்தனை பேர் என்ன ப்ராப்ளத்தோட இருக்காங்கன்றது தெரியாம நம்ம வந்து we are talking about our problems in life. I'm not minimizing the problems you all have in life, but the art of celebrating our plus in our life ங்கிறதே நமக்கு போயிடுச்சு. That is because our mind is not wired that way. Okay, you have to rewire your brain by seeing the silver lining in every cloud. Soft skills சொன்னேன் இல்லையா, just take a look at it, students. WHO has actually recommended 10 soft skills, which is again a major suit of armor for you to stay mentally healthy. I can only list it. நீங்க என்ன ப்ரோக்ராம் போறீங்களோ இல்ல என்ன பண்றீங்களோ, try to make sure that you develop these soft skills before you come out of your college in flying colors. Not only your technical skills, these life skills are going to give you a life problem free life. நான் சொல்ல மாட்டேன், ப்ராப்ளம் இருக்கும், but how to surf the waves அததான் கத்துக்கணும். Problem solving skills, decision making, growth mindset ன்னு ஒன்று இருக்கு, creative thinking, critical thinking, self awareness, and sorry, are you able to see my slide? This is my last slide, I believe. Are you able to see my slide?
Yes, ma'am. It's visible.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Sixth one is empathy. That is putting yourself in others' shoe. That is what is needed much in the society now. இன்னொருத்தவங்க ஒரு விஷயம் சொன்னாங்க, ஏன் சொல்றாங்க, what is their perspective, interpersonal relationship, communication skill, stress management, emotional management. So these are the 10 life skills, like 10 fingers. ரொம்ப ரொம்ப தேவை ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கு. So I don't know how much skill you all have. If you think you're lacking in any of the skill, I can only tell you somewhere you try to equip these skills. And lastly, I want to conclude this session with a positive note. Just take a look at this slide and மனசுக்குள்ள ஒரு தடவை சொல்லிக்கோங்க இந்த வேர்ட்ஸ். And because as I already told you, our mind is wired to think negative for survival reasons. So we need to feed the positive energy into our mind to stay positive. Okay, generally சொல்றேன். So அப்போ வந்து இந்த மாதிரி any one affirmation, you can even make your own affirmations and keep telling yourself when you're driving, when you're going in bus, when you're bathing, anytime சொல்லி பாருங்க. You will see a lot of difference. இப்போ நானே அடிக்கடி சொல்லுவேன், I am bold and confident, okay, and I like myself, I feel healthy, happy and terrific. இது சும்மா அப்படியே சோர்ந்து போய் சொல்லக்கூடாது. Oh, when I believe in myself, so do others. இப்படிலாம் சொல்லக்கூடாது. You need to tell with a josh. Every cell in my body vibrates with energy and health. இந்த மாதிரி ஏதாவது ஒரு அஃபர்மேஷன் எடுத்துட்டு 50 to 100 times you keep telling yourself, you'll see a lot of difference, and difference in the way your attitude changes, your perspective changes. If you are that depressed, reach out to someone, and remember, suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. So it's a beautiful quote given by Robin Williams. I hope most of you know this Hollywood actor, brilliant actor. So suicide is never a solution. இங்க அழகா அந்த ப்ரோஷர்ல கொடுத்திருந்தீங்க, for a better tomorrow we are sculpting ourselves today. So please don't ever end your life. எல்லாத்துக்கும் சொல்யூஷன் இருக்கு, சொல்யூஷன் இல்ல ப்ராப்ளம் இல்ல. இமோஷனலா இருக்கும்போது that seems a very natural solution, but your mind is actually tricking you. It's not the truth. Reach out for help. There is a beautiful life awaiting all of you. So இதை மட்டும் நம்ம சொல்லி முடிக்க கூடாது. We should know what are the helplines available in Chennai. So what I could provide is what I know, the information. I only know mostly about Sneha, service provided by I think Raju Hospital, Dr. Lakshmi Vijay Kumar. Sneha ஒரு the landline number இருக்கு. Probably I think the PowerPoint is with your friend only, he could help this. So இதை தவிர நிறைய இருக்கு, credible lifeline helplines-லாம் இருக்கு, which they have saved life of many people, especially during this COVID டைமா இருக்கட்டும், நீட் எக்ஸாம் ரிசல்ட்ஸ், ஏதாவது மேஜர் டைம் வரும்போது இந்த மாதிரிலாம் இருக்கு ஹெல்ப். ப்ளீஸ் ரீச் அவுட். ஹேவிங் அ ரஃப் டே, பிளேஸ் யூர் ஹேண்ட் ஓவர் யூர் ஹார்ட். எல்லாருமே இதை கொஞ்சம் பண்ணுங்க. If you're listening to me, I don't know whether you're muting your videos or not, just follow my words. Place your hand over your heart, okay, over your heart. Feel that. That's called purpose. You're alive for a reason. Don't ever give up, okay? So it's a very short time. I had to make a presentation for you. I don't know how impactful it was, but at least if it could, make some changes in young minds, I would be more than happy, and my purpose is met. So if there is any question, I don't know how coordinator has decided. So accordingly, if you can interact with me, you can. Otherwise, we'll end this beautiful day with this note. And I'm having a YouTube channel for myself called Dr. Chitra Arvind, where all these life skills, I've given a talk about all these life skills like a webinar, or I have given a talks about self-awareness, lot of psychological life skills videos. So if you want, please visit the channel. That is Dr. Chitra Arvind. So thank you so much for your patient listening. I believe you people were listening to me, and I hope it was useful for you. And only if I could hear from one of you, I could know how far it had impacted me. And again a very thank you to the people who have invited me, and YUCI for you, and also Easwari Engineering College for doing this great work today. Hats off to you people. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah.
This is Manjula. Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for accepting our invitation and coming and giving a nice talk about that life, importance of life. Thank you for joining with us, and it will be very useful to all the youngsters who are joined in this meet. Good luck to Jakshita, Aditya, and Sajana. Thank you, ma'am.
Shall I leave, Hari?
Yeah. Guys, if you have any doubts or if you want to ask any queries, you can ask or you can leave the meet.
Jakshita, you can go for the vote of thanks, I think so.
Yes, ma'am. So, thank you. On behalf of all students and staff, I'm glad to have received an opportunity to express my vote of thanks. So, firstly, a very special thanks to the Youth United Council of India for collaborating with us on this very big day and helping us host an extremely informative and necessary seminar today. And our host speaker, Dr. Chitra Arvind, ma'am, psychologist, your presence and your wise word have extremely enlightened us, ma'am. And your lessons will definitely be useful for all of us tomorrow. And I would also like to thank Mrs. Manjula, the coordinator of the Youth Red Cross Club, for giving us an opportunity to take such an initiative, and for your guidance and vital presence as always, ma'am. And my heartfelt thanks to our team for their undeniable support and efforts. And finally, on behalf of our team, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to each and every participant for their time and
இது
participation.
அட்டெண்டன்ஸ்
Thank
ஃபில்
you.
பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் தானே உங்க மீட்ல இருந்து லீவ் பண்ணணும். இல்ல அவன் தெரியாம இப்பவே லீவுன்னு ஏதோ சொன்னான்னு நினைக்கிறேன் ஹரி ஆதித்யா. அச்சா நீ பாக்குறியா? மா ஃபோன் வருது உங்களுக்கு.
I request people to stay on mute and turn on your camera for a good picture.
Thank you, ma'am. I request all the participants to change the name for a few minutes. We will share the feedback form for this session. You can give your valuable feedback through the form.
ஹலோ ஸ்ட்ரீமிங் முடிச்சிடவா? சரி ஓகே.
That's it.